Welcome to
the Glaziar Gambol. Welcome to the Glaziar Gambol podcast. And today we got back to you some boys, more of the boys talk right before the finale. Going to do some previewing of the finale, talk about the last few episodes that have happened. We did the previous episode on the boys was on the first 3 episodes, and now we're gonna do the last 4 or whatever, and then we'll talk about the finale in its own. Fun fact for those maybe new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe if you are new. But if you are new to the channel, fun fact, there is only one other video on our channel that has, because you can't see them as a viewer, that has more dislikes than our The Boys episode. So welcome. That means we'll set some expectations for you. Our second most disliked video was our last The Boys video.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
that was all just me making burner accounts, to be honest.
Even with that though, last time I checked, it was at like a 60% positive, like more thumbs up over thumbs down. So
all engagements are good engagements.
That's true. Actually, you get better engagement with dislikes. So make sure you dislike this video and subscribe. But yeah, welcome. This is the Glaziar Gambol podcast. If you are new here, we talk about nerd stuff, fantasy stuff, and Marvel and The Boys. Hopefully some more spread out to more content. When Arcane Season 2 comes out, we'll be doing that too. So, and then Agatha, the House of Harkness, we might cover that at the end. If not, no big deal.
Agatha all along.
All along. We might talk about that next week. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end of this week. This one's supposed to be focused on The Boys. That's why you clicked it. I have an idea for the thumbnail already, so gonna probably stick with that.
Sure. I don't know if you can show that.
It deals with an octopus. So, but yeah. Anyway, The Boys has been leading up to I think it's going to be huge, this finale.
I don't think it tops Herogasm. I mean, that's the highest rated The Boys episode ever. That was the finale last season where you get Butcher and Homelander and Soldier Boy and Maeve and Ryan all in that giant fight scene at the end.
And even like Vita Huey at one point.
Yeah, you get the massive like orgy as well. So, it's just everything was good about that episode. But this season has it's just been a banger. It's just been a banger from start to finish.
See, I think it's funny you say that because we've had so many people that hate this season. Even people that like the show say it's the worst season, which I don't understand.
I disagree.
I disagree. I think it's one of those, you kind of need that story buildup. Like sometimes what makes a great season so great is if you didn't have the other seasons, it would still be good.
Sure.
I don't think this is one of those where if you didn't have the backstory, you couldn't watch this season. So I think that's the only thing it hurts. But I mean, come on, this is season 4 of a show. You should expect that. Season 2 and 3 tend to be the best seasons of most shows. I think this season is one of the best, especially for dedicated fans. I think it's awesome.
Right. I think my favorite part about the season is that as of, I believe, at like halfway through or through episode 5, everyone was losing. Like everyone was in Schitt's Creek, basically. Like Butcher was, Starlight was, Huey was, Frenchie was, Kimiko was, was, like every one of the boys was just losing. And now you're starting to get a little bit of that redemption, kind of, or not redemption, but like kind of like, okay, well maybe there's a chance that their story turns out good this season. But that's been my favorite part, is that they've knocked all the heroes down, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I think that makes sense. So. This whole season has been like my saddest part is like Frenchie has been knocked down really hard, and he's one of my favorites.
Right.
Is I've said it since the beginning. He's my favorite character.
Sure.
I also, quick before we continue, I do want to give us a pat on the back. Last episode, we talked about the thing crawling in Butcher's brain, and that was that was before the other episodes had come out yet.
Sure.
And that was before the rabbit episode had happened. So we called that there was something going on living inside of him.
Sure.
Before they even mentioned it. Just want to, give us a little patsy there. I don't know. I don't know. This whole season has been like a build up of A-Train to the point where is he gonna die? There's been a build up of is Butcher gonna die? And it's kind of been just like every other season, tearing down Starlight,
Right.
tearing down Kimiko for some God knows why reason. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Like give
Yeah.
her some
Yeah,
good.
she's one of my favorites too. I
Which
mean, there's
spoiler, they almost killed her.
right. Yeah.
Oh God. I don't know. I think Frenchie is the story I'm disappointed with the most. It's understandable and like you feel for him, but it's like it's almost as if his character hasn't learned anything in 4 seasons.
Right. Yeah, I think with Frenchie is that he's had that like, which he seemingly was like okay with himself for his past actions. Like he still had that like remorse and all that,
Yeah.
but like he was living with it. And then now someone comes back into the picture that also like Colin is what I mean.
Yeah.
Colin
Yep.
comes back into the picture where he's working for the Starlighters and like that organization, and like so like Annie January is part of the boys, and she has this foundation, and it's like kind of just like random that like Frenchie didn't like know that. I don't know. It didn't. It's like a little like weird that like, oh, this person that you've had like a past with just so happens to be so connected, and you didn't know about it, and then all of a sudden you figured it out, even though like she's part of your group too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
mean,
then
he's had
and then
Kimiko every season, like, just talk to me. Okay, I'll talk to you. Just talk
right,
to me. Okay, I'll talk to you. And never once does he actually do it.
right.
Just
Yeah, and well,
ugh.
Kimiko's story still hasn't finished up too, because you still got to figure out what's going on with all the like the red. I forget what it feels like, the red, not the red room. That's Black Widow.
But the guys that
But
like kidnapped
yeah,
her, forced her to kill
yeah,
people, and all that.
right.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of that, a little bit of information on that, but like Kimiko, I don't know if her story is going to get wrapped up this
Yeah. The
like in the
only thing is
finale.
we
I don't
found out why
know.
she doesn't talk.
Right.
So that is,
Yeah.
I guess, a step forward. And I did
Sure.
talk about it in our last episode regarding the boys that she needs to be able to talk by the end of this. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, but
Well,
it's
not yeah.
just
Now you
like
kind of
Raj
know.
from Big Bang Theory is what I mentioned. They played it out too long. They're
Sure.
playing out her not being able to talk too long.
Right.
There's like, just like Frenchie, they needed to be able to, none of them are trying to address what their problems are. They're just covering it up.
Right. Right.
And with that, I think people get bored of, not necessarily bored, I guess, but I think people get annoyed of lack of character growth outside of, like, oh, Butcher's dying, and like Butcher's the only one showing the character growth. He's starting
Right.
to do the right things, which, again, he's kind of
Right. The
nullifying
right.
it here and
Yeah.
there.
The right. Yeah. I mean. Yeah, and then like the redemption for A Train too. Like A Train's finally getting his. He one took him to be an actual hero once, and now he's like, now I need to do the right thing. Where
Yep.
it's like
And he
he's
got his
kind of
family
been
out. I'm so glad they
right,
mentioned that.
right, and it's like he like he finally feels like Vought has they're heroes in the public's eyes, but they're not heroes themselves, and so now he actually feels like I could have been doing good, I guess, and he sees that now. But yeah, I wonder where he's gonna go, because I don't know. I feel like he's got to come back into the picture at some point too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Homelander, they in the opening season 1 of The Boys, they acted as if Homelander could hear anything happening in the world. Like they acted as if his super hearing was to the extent of, if you're hiding in the city, he'll find you.
sure,
That he'll smell you,
yeah,
he'll
he
hear
can kind
you.
of he's got the super senses or whatever.
You're telling
Right.
me he can't hear A Train's sonic booms anywhere?
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, actually, Homelander is like just as fast as A Train, like comic wise.
Right.
Homelander's pretty freaking fast too. So the
It's like
fact that
Superman versus Flash. Like Flash is
right,
is slightly faster.
the only reason Flash beats Superman is because his like Superman would eventually get tired, whereas Flash's like cells regenerate fast enough where he wouldn't actually like feel the like physical durability he's taking by maintaining that speed. So I mean, maybe that's kind of similar, I guess. But
Well, they are
Homelander's
playing towards that
fast too.
Homelander's getting old and, you know,
Right.
worrying
It
about
might
his
be
age. So maybe there are
right.
certain things that are lacking. Like maybe he's starting to feel less strong.
Right.
But
It's a midlife crisis kind of thing.
his character, you don't expect a ton of growth. That's the thing
Right.
with him. And
Yeah, he needs to
Homelander
kind
has
of be
kind
that
of,
same.
you know, he's becoming more demented. But even then, it's more like you're seeing the human side more, which is the exact point. They've called that out directly in the mirror, and
Right.
you're kind of seeing that and the impact it's having on his evil hero side. Um, I don't know. In terms of like, where do I think this is going in the finale? I think Butcher at the end. Again, spoilers. If you're watching this as a preview of the finale, so you're gonna get spoilers. Butcher passed out in the end of last
Right.
episode, presumably not dead because of the way Jeffrey Dean Morgan was looking at
Right.
him.
Kessler was like, it was more like Butcher hit him with a "I told you so" when Ryan decided to speak up to the nation in his little
And
puppet
almost tell
show
the
thing.
truth, but then bitched out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I almost did it, and Kessler or Butcher was like, I basically gave Kessler in his mind, "I
And
told you
that's
so."
why I trust my
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, and basically gave Kessler like an "I told you so," and then he stands up and he's like, "Oh," and then passes out, and Kessler had the look on his face like, "I told you so." Like you
Right.
should have acted quicker, essentially on
So
these things.
when he killed Ezekiel, he basically acted as though Kessler took over.
Right.
I'm taking it as like Butcher's dying, and now Kessler, who is that creep, like the creature inside of him.
The voice in his head when he was
Yeah,
like
and in that
the
little worm
old
that's crawling around,
sure.
I think he's the manifestation of that actual entity that's inside of him.
Sure.
I think that is going to take over, and
Right.
that smile was okay. Your body is mine now.
Oh, sure.
Um, speaking of which,
Because we haven't seen Becca for a couple episodes, or since the little fight in the
yeah, ever since they
with,
got their little good angel
yeah.
bad angel interaction.
Right. Yep.
Um, speaking of your body is mine now, the most predictable thing I have seen in The Boys was also happened at the end of episode 7.
Oh, the screenshot. It's like I want to call her screenshot because I don't know. Like she's like snapshot or whatever.
Starlight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The
there is a body like a body shapeshifter.
right. Who has to
Starlight
touch the
comes out.
person.
Yeah, they have to physically touch, and it looks like they also have to make eye contact.
Oh, sure.
So she came out in her Starlight outfit.
Right.
With Huey and was like, I just figured I'd try it on. As soon as she took her underwear off, like she was going to have sex with him, I went, this is that body double.
Sure.
And so
Something's off.
they explained that she got that later when she did the selfie. I
Right.
didn't think about that. I thought it was when the
Right.
when
Yep.
the thing ran from her.
Right.
As the previous girl when she was ripping her own skin off. I thought that
Right.
was when she had taken her copy.
Sure. Yeah, I thought so too, but then I was like, oh, she must have she copied the elderly like black woman, and then I was like, oh, it must not have worked on Annie because she's a soup or something like that. I don't know.
No, I was like, this is the shapeshifter. As soon as they started to get ready to have sex, I was like, that's a shapeshifter. Huey's about to have sex with the shapeshifter. And then as they like focused on the sex, I was like, they wouldn't be focusing on this moment unless there's something
right,
going
because
on.
her eyes didn't glow. Her eyes didn't glow when she.
Well, she had been having problems with her powers.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, every time that's happened in the past, like when she finishes, if you will, like her eyes have always glowed. So,
right.
Well, yeah, I don't know if her powers are okay now because she had problems with her powers, and then all of a sudden it worked versus Firecracker.
Yeah, but she never used them against Deep.
Right. Maybe she didn't need to. What Deep? She probably has the same super strength as Deep. You know
Probably.
what I mean? So,
but yeah, I mean, that was one of the more predictable though. I thought I was like, this is the shapeshifter. Sure. Obviously, we don't know. This is so leading to that. This is the question I wanted to ask you. This is the one that's been racking my brain. I'm sure it's what a lot of people care about. They showed where the real Annie is. She's chained up in an empty room.
Sure.
And at the end of the episode, you hear footsteps and the door opens.
Yeah, you hear like a creaking.
Who do you think it is? Because Sage was fired.
About that. Sage was fired.
So it's probably not Sage unless it's
Newman got a speech from Huey, and then you could tell she was kind of contemplating.
Okay, so you think it could be Newman?
Could be Newman.
I had a twist because the boys love throwing twists.
Sure.
I had a twist that
I think I might know where you're going with this, but keep going.
So Sage has acted like she's had some sort of secondary goal.
Sure.
While working with the Seven.
She's playing chess when everyone's playing chess.
Right. She's like a double agent. Somewhere something's coming on here.
She's thinking a step ahead of the step ahead of the step ahead.
Right. So I think she, has. So she knows that the internment camps they're planning for people, all this stuff. Related to Newman, I think it's going to be Singer.
Bryan Singer, okay.
I think Bryan Singer is going to walk through and that he's been working with Sage and that it's going to be not that he is a soup, but that he knows a good amount of what's going on and he has his own plan that he had been trying to use Sage in the Seven to implement.
Okay.
That's my goal, because otherwise there's nothing else to me that would be that big of a twist.
Okay. I mean, I agree with that. She seemed shocked when she opened the door, or like when the door opened or whatever. Annie seemed like shocked to see who it was.
Right.
So
her mom, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because I was gonna say like Marie, because I know that the boys, they wanted to go like Gen V into the boys, which kind of made sense. You saw Sam and you saw
right, and so far
Paige.
They haven't done anything.
They haven't gone, and then they wanted to right, and then they were going to go into season 4 of the boys, and then season 4 of the boys was going to lead into season 2 of Gen V.
That's right. That's true.
But she wouldn't be shocked to see Marie because she has no idea who the hell Marie is. So now I don't know about that. She would be shocked to see Newman.
She'd be shocked to see like Ashley, somebody else from Vault like that.
Something weird. Who else could there be? Maeve, maybe.
Right, because we thought Maeve. We think
Soldier Boy
and Maeve are dead.
Right.
So it could be somebody that we thought was dead.
Right.
I think you have the right frame of mind thinking about Gen V.
Yeah,
because they're gonna. But have I don't know. Yeah, at some point.
Yeah, but I don't know who they would like who.
Unless her response is like who the hell are you?
Right.
So that surprise face could be like who the hell are you, and it's somebody from Gen V. Because Annie didn't go to Godolkin because she made it through.
No, A-Train I believe was the only alumni.
Deep was
from
also
Godolkin.
Deep went to Godolkin, I believe.
But A-Train was on like a teen super team with Sage.
Right.
A-Train was. So I think Sage is a good idea. I think Sage is a good bet.
Any other former heroes that we haven't?
She didn't seem that upset.
She left like she was going somewhere.
Right. Like she's like, all right, maybe this was all part of the plan. So maybe it actually is. She is actually 10 steps ahead.
Right.
My bet would be Sage. I like the Singer idea. But then it's like they're working with Newman, and Newman's going to presumably use this snapshot chick to shoot him. So like does he know that? Does he know what's going on? Or is he, if it's Singer, is he giving Annie the information that he has to like continue after he knows he's gonna die?
Right, like maybe this whole time do you think the target is Singer, that Sage is trying to do a snapshot, but maybe the target has been Newman the whole time.
Yeah, because Newman was seen paying that guy, like
Yeah,
paying that dude, and then they went and tracked that dude to that apartment, and it ended up being the chick. But who knows what that person's normal form is, like what they actually look like.
right.
So yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's gonna be a bunch of twists and turns.
I would assume they look lizard-like because of the eyes, as well
Right.
as they like molt and rip their skin off.
Right. Sure.
As long as we get Jordan in here, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like we've mentioned when we talked about Gen V, that Jordan's my favorite, and
Sure.
you know, as long as we get Jordan in there and Jordan can kick some ass, that'd be sweet. But the only other way I would connect it to Gen V would be like one of the doctors. Like so did Firestarter or whatever? Did he Lamplighter? Did Lamplighter die?
He did. He was naked in the 7 room and lit himself on fire.
That's right. That's right.
Right. That's right.
That's right. So, yeah, I guess the shock value would be Soldier Boy or Maeve.
Yeah, but Soldier Boy wouldn't care. Like, so it doesn't make sense that Soldier Boy's
about
there.
Anything.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Like now he's got a vengeance on him, but
right.
Even then,
Maeve got
Ryan.
blasted. Yeah, that'd be weird if Ryan knew about it. See, none of it like makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense that Butcher either.
Nope.
I'm trying to think of all the people in the past, but
the girl that was chasing Kimiko.
Yeah,
Colin?
Anyone know who the hell that is?
Maybe Colin?
Colin? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like. Yeah, I'm trying to like who's trying. I guess she might make that face at Lamplighter, or not Lamplighter.
Yeah.
Firecracker.
Firecracker, yeah.
Which, you know, speaking of Firecracker, we got to see her be scared of Homelander a couple times.
Right. Yeah.
That was
she's trying to be like, oh, do you need anything? Do you need anything? And he's like, get on. She's like, yep, okay, yep.
There's been a couple times in this show, you know, where they excessive gore, excessive yucky, you know.
Right.
This is the first time where they went beyond the point where I was like, okay, they officially got me. The boys officially got me this episode to go, okay, that's enough. And it was Web Weaver not being able to stop diarrhea webbing.
Nervous. Yeah.
After like the third time, I had the same, like when Homelander was like, okay, that's enough. As I'm watching, I was like, yeah, seriously, that's enough. They're not showing
the boys always, yeah. The boys, they showed it the one time, maybe 2 times, but then like you heard the
right. Like if you're gonna do it, keep showing it. Then like the fact that you kept doing it, I was like, is this supposed to be funny that you're like are pushing it this far? It's the first time. I don't know if I've had that moment yet in the boys where I was like, okay.
Right.
Like let's move it forward now.
Well, yeah. You also got to think though. Web Weaver was also like a heavy drug user, and if they kept him in that cell, he wasn't getting his fix of drugs as well.
He was hitting withdrawals with it.
So, so that could have also played, and then being basically face to face with Homelander, kind of trapped in that room.
Yeah.
That probably would scare someone shitless too. So,
and I did have with a previous episode, not episode 7, but with the previous, I had a question.
Okay. I
have a question. I wasn't sure if you know this, but so Huey's dad died. Before he died,
Simon Pegg.
Huey's mom.
You think so?
It could be Huey's mom because she lied about the V. It fell out of your pocket. No, you took it from his pocket.
Oh, yeah. She knows a little bit more.
There's something going on with her that they're not telling us.
Yeah, but I think she's bad, though. Because if she came in, would she be like, Annie, you ruined my boy, or something like that. Like, that's how I feel like
I think she's evil. There's something, like, she came in at the wrong time. It could even be the shapeshifter as her mom, but just thinking about it, you know, brainstorming, it could definitely be because they haven't brought her back in a couple episodes.
Right. And they
And
introduced her, so it's like
they
why
introduced her, and she lied to Huey about the V,
the V? Yeah.
and knew how to like. She knows too
Right,
much,
inject it. Yeah, she
isn't
knows a
giving enough
lot.
information. There's something going on with her. So there, I think it's either Singer or Huey's mom.
Sure.
And
I'd go with Sage because I think Sage in theory is such a cool like concept, and I think they've like portrayed
well, with
how
Singer,
she was
I think
supposed to
Sage is
be,
working with. If it is Singer, I
how
think
she's
Sage is
supposed to
there.
be. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I think Annie would be shocked to see Sage, and then Sage would be like, "This is part of the plan." You
I
know what I
wouldn't be
mean? Like,
surprised to see if it is Singer to see Singer and Stage at the same time.
sure.
But
The
yeah,
question,
Huey's
yeah,
mom would be my other one. But yeah, the question.
sure.
Also, what did his mom do? What did they say? What she did for a
She
living?
worked she works with Vought, but she's in the like beauty, it's like creams and ointments and stuff like that. Like
Right,
that's
but
like
maybe
what she.
potentially being able to work with Godalkin University and the like disease and that sort of thing, right?
Possibly,
Right.
like probably has a little bit of knowledge of.
The connections there. That's it's either Singer or her. That's my guess. But anyway, my question: how did Huey kill his dad? How did like he injected him with something that killed him?
I mean, just a lethal overdose of something.
Like why doesn't that work on like how does he know that's going to work on his dad? Like how does he know his dad's not one of
Yeah,
those soups that can't be killed by anything besides this virus? Like
right.
was that just super easy, barely an inconvenience moment?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Plot part of the plot. Like it had to move the plot along.
Yeah,
So
like he I got something for you, dad, and kills him.
right,
I was at that moment I really wanted him to kill the mom, by the way, so bad. But
sure.
there's some I hate her so much.
Yeah, there's something off about her for sure.
But I don't know why. Like the fact that it worked was frustrating, and the fact that why don't we just inject like Homelander with that? Won't that kill him? Like why can that kill him but can't kill Newman and can't like
Right. Like, yeah, how do you know? Because like that little bit of the virus in the or the acid, they were trying to acid her, and that didn't even touch. Like you figured out Newman was a lot stronger, like we said in that first episode or first two
right?
episodes. Newman's a
So
lot stronger than we
we
thought.
didn't
So
know
how do
his
you
dad.
know the strength level of each soup? I
Right.
guess like you don't know.
We know that
So
his dad had almost the exact same power as Huey
yeah,
did.
he had a little like Huey had the like teleporting and then and then naked afterwards,
And his dad
and
was
his
like
dad had
shimmer
like
teleport.
Ghost
Yeah.
in Marvel, yeah. So kind of like phased through things, right?
But I think so. Obviously, they're going to try to connect it to Gen V. I think there's multiple characters that can be connected via Godalkin and Vought and the boys.
Sure.
I think they sent away Marvin's family because of that's somebody we're not supposed to think about for the finale. Like I think
MM.
him and his family, either
Oh,
MM's gonna
sure.
die or like we don't want you to be spread too thin. Like here, they're
Sure.
gone, so focus on like A Train ran
Right.
away. Focus on these people. Focus on Deep and Noir having they're gonna be the comedic relief because they're Eskimo brothers now or whatever.
Right.
And
Yeah. Something like that.
but when it comes to the plot, you're gonna focus on Huey, Annie, Butcher, Kimiko and Frenchie, Homelander, like
The
that group.
boys and Homelander, yeah, that's what it always tends to come down to. Is
Right.
the boys and Homelander. Newman's in the mix now.
Right.
Like Newman's also. It's like they've got these like two paths. It's like, do we go after Homelander? Do we go after Newman? It's like, well, like if you go after one, then the other one is in power. Like the other one is in ultimate power. So it's like it's tough because they got like two threats.
Dude,
Like if you kill Homelander, then no one can stop Newman. But if you kill Newman, then no one can stop Homelander. And so
right.
that's kind of the double-edged sword.
And we know
I guess.
Newman is like a more powerful version of Marie.
Right. Right.
But that if Marie were to train, that she would probably be able to get to Newman level.
Right.
But I don't know about indestructible wise though.
Because like Stormfront was also pretty damn strong because Stormfront like Homelander could laser her and it wouldn't even crack her skin. Like,
Yeah, and she also like 200 years old and didn't look like
right,
it.
right. So I don't know if like Newman's that level too, because the acid didn't even touch her either. Like, because if Homelander, like this whole time Homelander could do that, he probably would, and it'd just be done and over with. But if, and then same thing, like if Newman could do that, it'd just be done and over with. So
Yeah,
like Newman
Newman made a
could stop
comment
him.
to Homelander about how they would just kind of have like a long fight of nothing. Like
Right.
they would just kind of be tormenting each other if they tried
Yeah.
to fight each other.
Right. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Sage. I'm gonna go with Sage. I think that'd be. I think the shock value would be Huey's mom, and you find out
Yeah.
she's just like this conniving like bitch in the background kind
Ever
of type
since I
thing.
had that like moment where we were brainstorming and that came to my mind, now I can't get it out of my head. Like that's
Right.
I keep thinking
Sure.
it's got to be his mom. I keep thinking it's got to be his mom. I hate her so much.
Yeah.
And they got to
Right.
bring her in and give you even more reason to hate her. There's
Sure.
oh god, and works for Vought. Like she's just she's evil.
Right.
And she totally didn't leave Huey because of postpartum. She left him for some other reason, which we're also gonna find out because it
Yeah.
has something to do with this. She left to go
Sure.
work for Vought, and actually instead of working with their makeup, she actually works with their pharmaceuticals and medicine.
Sure.
She's one of the creators of V.
Right. Something.
Yeah, she's gonna be watch those people in the comments, the comics that read the comics that like know, like, don't you guys know this happened? We didn't read
Right.
the comics like most people. And
Right. We know I know bits and pieces, but that's just what I see on like social media or other avenues. It's
yeah,
like
even people that have
bits
read
and
them all tell me they suck.
Yeah.
So
So
why would I want to read a comics that suck that they don't actually follow in the show anyway?
right. It's like this is like it's like a The Boys is like a serious parody show. Like that's how it is. But like
Yeah. Yep.
it's like it still has the plot, the underlying plot, and that's interesting. So
See, and with Butcher, you could bring Huey's mom in as like being able to interact with Butcher in a medical facility of some kind. If that was like,
sure.
it's the dots feel like they're connecting. I can't wait to be completely wrong.
Right. Right.
Oh, but I'm
Yeah.
so
Watch
excited.
it be like I don't know, Sam or something.
God,
And
I hope it's nobody from Gen V.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
my thing. Is like,
So I was trying to think of it. Oh, what if it was like whoever's running Godolkin, and then I was like, oh wait, like the old Golden Boy killed the old dude, and then the woman was in charge, and then
she got killed by Kate.
Kate was like, kill yourself or whatever, slit your throat, right?
Yep.
And then she got killed. So it's like, and if there's a random new person running Godolkin, which there is someone new running Godolkin, we just don't know who that is. Andy wouldn't be like, oh my god, like you know what I mean? So
Right. That face she made was either like she recognized the person and is,
or like, oh fuck,
or like
I'm
who the f are you? I don't know who you
right,
are.
right, yeah,
I'm if I'm ranking top possibilities, I think Sage is up there. I think shock factor is Huey's mom or Singer. I
sure,
think predictable factor, but would still be a thing, would be Firecracker or Homelander or Newman.
sure,
That would be like not surprised at all, but what's gonna happen. And then I think other shock factor would be like Butcher, but it's not Butcher.
right,
Like there's no way in hell it's Butcher.
sure.
It's the octopus.
Yeah, that's voiced by Tilda Swinton.
I was gonna say poor Tilda Swinton's dead now.
Yeah. She's dead in 2 universes. Yeah.
Yeah, she got killed. One killed by a lion, and one died as an octopus. She should stay off Animal Planet. Tilda Swinton, please don't. Just
Right.
please. And was she dead in Marvel? She is.
She was like she's in the like ghost dimension,
The
type
astral
thing.
plane.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like her soul exists, but her physical body's gone or something.
So I have my tiers of who I think it'll be. Do you have a couple of who you?
I'm gonna say Sage
Sage.
because
That's just
I
one.
think well yeah I think Sage is just the Sage just makes sense to me, and like the fact that she left so easily, she must have realized that her plan is still on, or she would have thought about the next plan. She wouldn't just give up and go back to her life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she has this platform now. She's got resources she didn't have before, and so it's like I think that's part of the plan. That's
If
what I think. I think
if
it's
I
part
were
of the
told I
plan.
had to put money on it, I'd say Sage or Huey's mom, but my
Shock.
shock factor would be Singer.
Sure.
But
I think um I think the if it's Sage, I'm gonna be like, okay, I see that could happen. Like that's, and then that would be give the like the oh shit moment for like Annie. Annie would be like, oh shit, like I'm screwed. Like
right.
she's got me chained up. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I am,
She
and
put me
I've
in a
got
place that
this.
has no working electrical.
Right, right,
Smart
yeah.
enough to know to put
Just
her
a
in that.
dungeon, right? It's just a dungeon,
Yeah.
I think that would be like the oh shit thing. I think Newman would be too like cop out. I think
Yeah.
Newman's too cop out because like she's she needs to either like Huey tried to go there to like change her mind, but like I feel like she's too far into it to not like she wants to be president, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's the scariest reality. And I think they need to have that happen.
I think Newman, Homelander, or Firecracker are too big of cop outs. They're too big
Right.
of like this wasn't a big enough person to leave as a cliffhanger.
But now I'm thinking when they beat the shit out of Cameron Coleman and the Guardians of Godolphin, Sam and Kate were there, and they're like, "How will we know?" And they're like, "You'll know." Like, what if it's like I'm gonna go like the shock factor would be like if it's Kate. If it's like Kate, and then Annie doesn't know what she does, and Kate walks in and gives her this little speech like, "I was told you're not like," I don't know. That'd be like the shock factor for me if it's like Sam and
So Sage, and then your shock
Kate.
is Sam and Kate.
Well, I'm just say Kate, and
Okay.
then because like I don't know, I'd say Sam and Kate, but then what? I don't know. Like they're so bad, and I think Sam still has like a redemption arc, and I don't want to start that redemption arc right now. Like I think Kate's gone. No one likes Kate. Like, but I think Sam has that redemption arc because she's with the Munchkin chick.
Right.
He's like there's that love connection. So I don't think that necessarily makes sense, but
Squirrel Girl,
that's
whatever.
that's where I would also if Kate was there, I would be like, oh shit, like because Annie can't do anything to fight back,
right.
and if Kate touches, she's chained up, and if Kate touches her, it's like game over. Like so, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Sage. I'm gonna go with Sage. Final answer. I think shock factor would be Kate. Um, she can get her shit kicked for a little bit. She can get her shit kicked for a little bit, and if Annie busts out,
Is this going to be the one time that they don't nerf Annie?
yeah, no kidding. Her powers don't work. It's like, well, she would have killed Firecracker if no one pulled her off.
All right,
So
right, but all those moments that people were talking about recently on the internet, like Homelander laughing her off, Newman laughs her off, like
right.
everybody kind of like says you're useless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Let us know what you think. If you have any ideas, who do you believe is opening the door? What are you expecting them from the finale? Do you want them to do a movie at the end of next year? I think that'd be sick, but
I think it would be too.
I
I
think it would be sick, but
also
not necessary.
right. I think it. You know what? I would have loved to see a. I would love to see just Dawn of the Seven, like where they're all like. Well, I know they're all bad, but like from a Vought point of view, you're filming them as like heroes, right? Like they're stopping Stormfront, I believe, in the first Dawn of the Seven, played by Charlize Theron. Um, like that would have been cool to see them all like grouped up fighting like a fake superhero. You'd have to still have the boys like humor, like all the like how they act, but like
The
I don't know.
spoofing of it.
Yeah, right. I'm also gonna throw another name into the who's at the door, You didn't hear the whoosh, but I think A-Train could have came back.
I don't think it's A-Train. That would be
Sure.
saying he's a bad guy again.
Well, no, not if he's there to help. Like if he came back to help, like he realized he got his family out and he's like, they need me, or I can still do good. I don't know. That's my third one. If you pick three, I pick three. It's
Okay.
Sage, A-Train, or like Kate, Sam.
Sage, A-Train, Kate,
Right.
and I would say Sage, Singer, or
Huey's mom.
Huey's mom. Huey's mom is who I want now.
Sure.
I've convinced myself. I wanted
Right.
Singer I want Huey's mom.
Yeah.
I want her to be
I think that's
the
a good
big
thing.
bad
I think
for
that's
this.
I think that's a good thing because Annie would be like, "You bitch!" Like,
right.
never liked
And she'd
you.
have multiple reasons to act
Right.
like she hates Annie.
Right. Yeah, you've ruined my son.
And working for Vought, she's probably seen Annie at some point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Without
I'll go
Annie
for
knowing.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's her. Again, let us know who you think. Reminded you at the beginning, going to remind you here at the end. Like, subscribe, or dislike and subscribe. If it's anything like the last Boys episode, you will dislike and then subscribe.
Sure.
Check us out on social media, Twitter, formerly known as X, and make sure that you continue looking as great as you do today.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'm tired of my chest. I'm